Well, hello everybody and welcome along to Canada, our annual trip north of the border for the IMSA Championship Series. The Continental Tire SportsCar Challenge kicked things off this racing Saturday, just about an hour and a bit away from Toronto, that bustling metropolis. Fantastic place to spend a few days. You'll find Bowmanville, Ontario and Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, known to many still by its original name of Mosport, but what a transformation in infrastructure and safety since we have had the change of ownership and the investment. Action areas at turn 1, turn 5, Moss Corner and at turn number 8 at the end of the long Andretti back straight, which isn't a straight but is climbing up through 3 distinctive rises, including one just before the braking area to the ultra quick S's that are really 8, 9 and 10, the last 3 corners of the race. Jeremy Shaw, John Hindhaugh in the IMSA Broadcast Centre for you this weekend. We're live in sound and vision with IMSA TV and radio together once again. No geo-blocks, no breaks in the action, no excuses to miss this race, and we are looking forward to it, Jeremy.
Well, we certainly are. I think it's going to be a fascinating contest. There's at least a handful of guys are capable of winning this race, and great to see the number 7 car. What a great effort that was by Alan Brindley-Olsen, who's a newcomer to the sport in the professional ranks, even to the amateur ranks, come to that. Hasn't been racing for very long, but he's done a magnificent job to qualify 6th in that brand new and very distinctive yellow and black Ford Mustang. He's going to be interested to see how he copes with the early pressure here, having not raced here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park before. But the 2 McLarens on the front row, they are going to be hard to beat, but I don't think they are invincible. In ST, as Shay was saying, this is wide open. Look at the grid: Mini, BMW, Porsche, the top 3, a couple of Mazdas in the top 6 as well, and Nissan right behind them. That's always fast. There's a whole bunch of contenders that can win in ST.
Yeah, I love the ST class. We'll have a 3rd category next year with the addition of the new touring car, TCR class cars, but the ST cars certainly fan favourites here. A lot of Mini owners have come to support the 4 Minis, which all qualified inside the top dozen. Yeah,
they did, all within a second of the ultimate pace set by Derek Jones, who put a really, really good lap together. We got records in both of the classes in qualifying, and certainly Derek Jones, he made his IMSA WeatherTech SportsCar Championship debut last weekend, driving a PC car. Back now concentrating on the Mini, and one of his teammates, James Vance, he's also going to be doing double duty this weekend as well.
That's the voice of Jeremy Shaw. I'm John Hindhaugh. This is the IMSA radio team, and we've got Shay Adam down in the pit lane. Here's our Continental Tire pit lane report. Shay, everyone get out of pit lane.
Everybody made it out. We are good. All of our starters will be going. Nobody is trapped at the red light of pit out.
Well, that is the first bit of good news. On the second sighting lap of the 2.5 miles of Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, Jeremy, as he does at this stage before every event, just rubbing his hands. Bit of fluid coming out of the back of the 73 car.
Probably just excess fuel.
Okay. Left-hand rear. I thought when I first saw that was a tyre rubbing, but it certainly wasn't that. So keep an eye on that if you're around the circuit. Listening in on 90.7 FM, 454 on the scanner. The lights are out on the Ron Fellows Experience safety car.
Ron driving?
Do you know he might be? I haven't seen him behind. When I say that, I want to say the Ron Fellows Experience, because it is exactly right for that. It's one of the Camaros that they use here, along with the ATSVs and the CTSVs, the mighty CTSV, 640 horsepower, with that supercharged V8 6.2 engine and the little 3.6 twin turbocharged. Little 3.6 twin turbocharged ATSVs here as well. What a fine car that is for 460 horses and the same amount of torque as well, about 640 foot-pounds. Well, the Camaro has pulled away and we are ready to go racing. Car's been asked to pack themselves up. It's the 2 McLarens. Chris Green and Paul Holton will come to the green flag first. Dylan Merkin, and watch out for Jack Rouse Jr. in the 59 Ford. I fancy he might want to try and make some positions up, and also watch that bright yellow and black Volt car with Matt Bell alongside him in the 57 Camaro. McLaren, Ford, Porsche, Chevy, green flag, racing, and the two Maccas do get down to the first corner first. Nice jump from Chris Green and Paul Holton as they've got away and immediately make a break in the middle of the ST Park. A spin for one of the... It's a 65 car, yes it is. Tim Brobert in the Porsche for one of the Mosing Motor Cars machines. And that car's gone around the Murillo racing car, should I say. And it was a very good start indeed for Matt Bell. He just slipped in ahead of Alan Brynjolfsson. All of the GS cars got through without incident. Yeah,
there's no gap at all between the GS and ST cars like we normally have, but there's a great start by the BMW of Tyler Cook there in ST to take the lead of that class going into turn 1. Contact there between number 26 and number 65. Perhaps. Number 26 car was able to keep going. That was Liam Dwyer. He made up a couple of positions, I think, but he might have lost them again. Let's have a look at...
On the curb? A little bit of help.
Sure.
One of the Freedom Motorsport cars were there or thereabouts, but
save.
Fabulous save. I think he just dinged the wall very slightly.
Barely, yeah.
Yeah, just where it's the ST sticker is on the right rear.
Minor dent.
You know what? I know from bitter experience that those bumpers pop out in time. With a bit of heat on that, that'll come back out. Front of the field, 69. Chris Green leads it from Paul Holton. No 77 car in the field because that car had problems before qualifying. So Matt Keegan has transferred, he and the rest of the team have transferred to the 68 MIA car, borrowed it for the race effectively. They've had to start at the back of the GS grid, 10th position at the moment for those guys. As the field streams down over the top of turn 2, Cameron Castles with 1, 2, 3, 4 cars behind, and one of them is the fast starting Matt Keegan, who's trying to go up the inside of the almost all white Porsche. In fact, he's got 3 Porsches ahead of him into the pit lane. Second in the championship, the number 17 car, Shea Adam. Drama early doors for the RS1 Porsche.
Well, it's a left rear tire issue, John. I can't tell if it's flat or if it's just not there. They are pulling, no, it is a flat. It is a flat left rear. So Nick Gallant pulls into his pit box. They've already got the new one on. They're just bolting it. And this will put them down, but this certainly will not knock them out.
And there was an incident at the last corner right in front of us just a moment or two ago with the 75 Audi going around right in front of that car, but I don't think that was the cause of the issue. I didn't see any touch there. The leader's coming back around in front of us now, and there is the 69 of Chris Green. Now, can that RS1 Porsche get out before the leaders come through? He's going to go a lap down, goes a lap down now to the GS leaders, but he will get it out in front of the ST leaders, I believe. As he goes out now, just lost a lap to the leaders of the race. Bit of a gap opening up back to the Tyler Cook-driven BMW, who's got a big gap there, Jeremy, between himself and Mike Lamara in the 37 Mini.
Yeah, he's made a very, very good start, has Tyler Cook there, and the pole sitter, Derek Jones, fallen well back down the order, down into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7th position, I think. He car number 73, so he's got some work to do to make his way back up the order. Meanwhile, it's the sister car, Mike Lamara, former champion, along with Terry Borchella in the ST class, who made a great run to get into 2nd place, with Devin Jones in car number 31 in 3rd. That's for the Body Motion team.
So the ST field, as ever, battling early on. Not really time to play yourself in here. Jeff Mosing having a look at Jay Selinski in the Mini. The 52 is the yellow and black Mini. All 4 Minis qualifying inside the top 12. And they do, when they are together, look like a skill extra set. It's absolutely fantastic. Love to see these cars here. Real echoes of touring and saloon car racing of years past. 3 Mazdas sitting in behind there as well, with the Chad McCumbee 25, the 34 and the 27. They're all drafting each other down the Andretti Straight as well. Interesting to talk to the Mini drivers earlier on. They say we do make quite a large hole in the air.
Yes.
So if we can get 2 or 3 of us together, we do make progress.
Yeah, they can do, certainly. It's great to see them working together. They are now as the number 73 car begins to move his way back up the order. He's just got past number 56 and is effectively, well, one of the battles for the championship coming into this weekend in ST. It's Jeff Moseley and Eric Foss in car number 56 that lead the championship, but only 8 points over the number 73. And with that change of position there, another point or two gained by the 73 vis-a-vis the 56.
18th overall down to 21st overall. The 4 MX-5s are now line astern. So we've got 16 wheels of Mazda power with Moseley. Behind Moseley, we've got McCumbee, he's the first one, then Drennan-Stone and Dwyer all together in the Mazdas, and they will be, at this stage, I would think, trying to work together to make sure they don't lose too much ground in the front of the field. Not the quickest car in a straight line, the Mazda, but my goodness, they are committed round the twisty bits.
Yeah.
Throw them at the apex and they'll get round somehow, it seems.
Yeah, and super consistent those cars are as well. And they're light on their tyres, so they're good on a long stint. And Chad McCumbee really is making some good ground in the early stages, battling where the other guys on the charge is Michael Johnson in car number 54. He's moved past a whole bunch of cars, including Sarah Catania, the race winner here last year in that number 44 Nissan. So 54, that bright yellow BMW is on the charge.
So Matt Bell in the 57, Stevenson, Camaro going up towards turn 3, right in the wheel tracks of Dylan Murcutt in the 28, which is the, I think, very attractively liveried white, black, red and grey car. The black with a shiny black roof, the gloss black roof. It looks really purposeful, that. They, I think, are just starting to close down on Jack Rouse Jr. I suggested that Jack Rouse Jr. might be a man to watch. He did get him into third at the start, but he's already 6 seconds back from Chris Green. Paul Holton 1.6 seconds back, and those two McLarens are making a break for freedom. 1.5 seconds between them, and then 4.5 seconds back to the rest of the pack.
Yeah, so sort of what we expected there. A big battle going on for third place. Jack Rouse Jr., as you suggested, John, a good start by the Ford Mustang, and hanging on there in that third position.
Tyler Cook has disappeared into the distance, comparatively speaking, in ST and the 84 BMW, which leads. Yeah, the Mini in second, nearly 3 seconds behind now, and then the Mini is another nearly 4 seconds ahead of the 31 Porsche.
Yeah, but again, Michael Johnson is absolutely charging in
He's having a great weekend.
Number 54 car is right onto that whole train of cars, battling over 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. Meanwhile, number 17 car has rejoined. He's not far ahead on the road of the number 84 car, so he's in danger of going a lap down. That's something he will be desperate to avoid, if he possibly can. Good battles going all the way up and down the field in this race.
I like the fact we've got a clean start, Jeremy.
Yes.
It's nice that we've got everybody just starting, as you'd expect. You put the fastest cars at the front, it's going to tend to just open things out. Everybody's settling into their race pace now. 9 minutes gone already. We're on lap number 6, live from trackside, the IMSA Continental Tire SportsCar Challenge up in Canada in the sunshine on the 2.5 miles of Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. And it's Chris Green from McLaren who leads it. 3 seconds now. He's had a cracking last couple of laps. 1:25.5 last time around. 9/10 of that lead in the last lap.
Yeah, that car is stout, isn't it? It's going to be hard to beat. Number 68 car, by the way, working through now. Matt Keegan, despite the fact this is his very first time here, driving a car he'd never even driven before the race started. Matt Keegan just worked his way past Cameron Castles on that last lap, up into 8th position in car number 68. Good consistent pace in the front of the field by our race leader. That last lap was a 1:25.59, not quite as quick as his fastest lap of the race, but within fractions of it. And as you say, edging well clear at the front of the field now.
McLaren, Ford, Chevy, Camaro, Porsche, the top 5 in GS. BMW, Mini, Porsche Mini, Mazda, BMW, because Mike Johnson's got past Liam Dwyer.
Yeah, so the two disabled drivers there running together on the road. Michael Johnson is paralysed from the chest down, and Liam Dwyer is missing a leg and a half.
Yeah, two extremely talented, focused and brave drivers there.
Absolutely right.
Never ever hear either of them complain about their situation. They celebrate the fact that they are driving and how much they enjoy it. And whenever you think you're having a bad day, go and talk to those two, because you cannot fail to come, either one of those two, you cannot fail to come away feeling buzzed up about everything. Smashing couple of lads, great to see them racing here, and fair play to IMSA as well for making sure that those guys can continue to enjoy their racing. Yeah,
they have to pass the various standards to make sure they can exit the vehicle in the case of an emergency. In some way, shape or form. The pit stops are certainly a bit of a challenge for those guys, but again, you know, where there's a will, there's a way. These guys certainly have the will, there's no question about that. Number 17 car, by the way, has now gone a lap down to Tyler Cook, who continues to impress and lead in ST in car number 84.
Jeremy Shaw, John Hindhaugh in the IMSA Broadcast Centre here, overlooking the final corner. Shea Adam is our Continental Tire pit lane reporter, and at the head of the field, Chris Green is enjoying the sunshine. He'll be hitting the back of traffic shortly, I would have thought.
He's already passed a few cars.
Yeah. Paul Holton 5 seconds away in second place, and 6 seconds ahead of a great battle that is beginning to heat up, has heated up as I look out of the window, because as they go past us, Jack Rouse Jr. and Matt Bell, Ford Mustang versus Chevy Camaro. Now that has a ring to it, doesn't it? The two dark-coloured cars heading over the top of the skyline under the Champion Bridge into turn 2 and dropping down into turn 3. Fifth position, Dylan Murcutt's got a battle on his hands too, because the bright yellow Andy Blackmore livery on the Volt Mustang is right in his wheel tracks, and I would think is lighting up all of his mirrors from that.
Yeah, when you say bright yellow, you are not kidding.
No, that is the understatement of the year, isn't it?
It looks great, that car.
Highlighter yellow. A couple of different shades on that. This is the team, remember, Alan Brynjolfsson and his team, who have transferred over from the McLaren that they ran earlier in the season. Larry Holt and the Multimatic guys turning the brand new Mustang around for them very quickly and getting it here to Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. In fairness, they're not too far away, but still well done for them. Master battles in ST. Chad McCumbee going a little bit wide through turn 1 and loses that position, which is 7th in ST. So McCumbee goes wide, Drennan goes through, Stone sitting in behind them, then Michael Johnson and Liam Dwyer. Sarah Cattaneo just dropped down through the field for the moment in the 44 Nissan Altima, but still only about 20 seconds away from the leader, so well on the lead lap. Looking for a little bit of redemption, that team, this weekend after all kinds of problems at Watkins Glen.
Certainly good to see that BMW running strongly for Bimwell. God, they've had all sorts of difficulties this season, but the cars are generally been quick, but reliability has been a bit of a problem for them, I'm afraid. But Tyler Cook, a brilliant start and just romping away, well, not romping away, but he's got almost 5 seconds now over Mike Lamar, who's doing a fine job in second place. And in third now is Devin Jones, and Jeff Mosing is tracking him down. Jeff Mosing just said his best lap of the race as he tries to close on that group of cars.
Mini versus Porsche, 37 and 31. That's for second position in ST. Just going through turn 2. Mike Lamara in the 37 car. The Porsche, the 31 car, sitting in behind him, just having done its fastest lap of the race. Both D. Joneses out there at the moment.
Yes.
Usefully.
What a good job this has been done by number 68, Matt Keegan.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a lot of experience.
Brilliant.
He's another guy like Brynjolfsson who's just ahead of him now, well, 8 seconds ahead, but both those two in their first season of proper professional racing.
And Matt Keegan had not sat in that car before it rolled off the grid.
Remarkable.
Now, it's the same. It's another McLaren that he's used to driving, but one car is not necessarily always exactly the same as the other. The team didn't get their hands on that car till quite late. They will have tried to transfer the settings over, Jeremy. But you've got to say, that's a cracking job by all concerned.
I mean, we're not actually sure who is running that car. Is it the MIA team that's running it?
They're
or
getting
is it
the points.
C360R? Yes, they would, MIA will get the points. But who's making the pit stops? Perhaps Shay can answer that when she gets a chance.
C360R, she tells me.
Thank you very much, Shay.
It's still Ford versus Chevy for third position overall, with these two front-engine V8 American muscle cars trailing in the wake of the European Exotica at the moment. The mid-engine 3.6 V8 powering the McLaren, leading by 6.7 seconds. McLaren second, and then 10.5 seconds back to this fabulous battle that goes across the start-finish line now. The dark grey Mustang of Jack Roush Jr. and then Matt Bell in the 57 Stevenson car, slightly shinier, the Ford in a sort of a matte paint, which is a bit confusing because Matt's in the shiny one. Does that make sense? 57. See where I was going with that, Jeremy, didn't you?
Good one, yeah.
Dylan Murcutt just able to close in for a moment on those two battling front engine cars in the mid-engined Cayman, but he's got another fire-breathing Mustang behind him in the shape of Alan Brynjolfsson, the Icelandic driver in the number 7 Ford. Whilst this battle continues, let's head down to the pit lane for an update from Shea Adam.
James Clay, co-driver, the number 84. What in the world did you guys feed Tyler Cook this morning? He is driving like a man possessed.
Yeah, well, we're working hard here. The weather's with us. This is one of our favorite tracks. It's certainly one of the best tracks for the car. You make hay while the sun shines is what we'd say in the U.S. And yeah, Tyler's out there running it, and we're going full speed, and we need to knock down a win, and we're trying our best when everything's lined up our direction.
It's been a bit of a cruel year for you guys. The pole positions have been there, the speed has been there. Has the difference been that all of a sudden you guys are racing on the Nürburgring? You're not afraid of the competition. You know how to get out there and get your nose in things.
No, I don't think anybody would ever accuse us of being afraid to put our nose in things. But no, it's just really the right conditions here. And we certainly had the speed last year, 4 poles. This year, we're really seeing ourselves about midway down the speed chart. So really, the thing that we had that was an advantage in the past maybe isn't the advantage that we need right now. But maybe all the pieces of the puzzle are kind of put together perfectly this weekend, and maybe we get a result.
Fingers crossed. Good luck, James.
Thank you.
Leading ST right now. Let's see if they can stay there for another hour and a half.
Yeah, James, the teammate of Tyler Cook in the 84 car by 7 seconds over the Mini 37 Mini McNamara in second place. This is very unusual to see these gaps opening up. Good battling going on. And notice that Jay Selinski was under pressure there further back in another Mini. So we've got 1, 2, 3 Minis in the top half dozen or so, but Selinski had the 27 Mazda alongside for a moment on the back straight, but I don't think that pass was made. Jeff Mosing, oh, now we've got the two D Joneses together on the timing screen as well, 31 and 73. If you're not following along on timing, please do on the IMSA app. Absolutely free to download, and we'll never ask you for any in-app purchases. Maybe a bit of information, but no money needs to change hands. It's available for all of the 3 top operating systems for your smart device. Go to your app store and search for IMSA, IMSA, and get that installed. Onboard cameras, streaming video and audio, and lots of information as well as the timing and scoring. Well, Jeremy, nice start at the front of the field then for Chris Green, who has done exactly what he needed to do and pulled out a 9-second lead as he heads onto the back straight for his 14th time.
Yeah, those two McLarens really are romping away now. The third place car, more than 20 seconds behind the overall leader, Jack Rouse Jr., but he's got his hands full with Matt Bell still. That's a great battle going on between those two. Dylan Murcott and Alan Brynjolfsson hanging on there as well in number 28 and number 7 car. And these guys are all fighting their way through this huge battle that goes on for sort of 4th, 5th, 6th, 8th, all the way down in ST. Michael Johnson's made up another place. Just got past Chad McCumbee on the last lap, past the former series champion.
An hour and 40 minutes still to run. Huge slide by Brynjolfsson as he comes into my view here through the penultimate corner, the left-hander, tight left-hander. He somehow held onto it. They're going through the ST traffic at the moment, and Jack Rouse Jr., Matt Bell, Dylan Murcott, Brynjolfsson, all within, what, a couple of seconds or thereabouts, and with Minis, Mazdas, all kinds of ST traffic that they're working their way through. This is the joy of multi-class racing. Love it, absolutely love it. And it's danger time for Jack Rouse Jr. in 3rd position as Matt Bell takes a wider line through turn 3. He'll be able to get on the power just a tiny little bit earlier as they climb up over the top of the brow through 4. And then down the hill again before Moss Corner. Sequence of corners at turns 5A, It is really 2 corners as well, because you do get the steering wheel straight in between those 2 right-handers. Do not hit the curb on the second part of it on the inside, the right-hand side. They've cleared a little gaggle of ST traffic. Brynjolfsson, just for a moment, held up behind Jeff Mosing in the 56 orange and black Porsche. But he's cleared now too.
Good luck there by Chris Green, taking advantage of clear track now. A 26.1 minute, 26.18 last time around by the overall race leader. That's kind of the pace he likes to run. Fastest lap was about a half a second faster than that. He doesn't need to go that fast, absolutely no point in doing so at this stage in the race.
Derek Jones in the 73. That is the D Jones that's in the 73. It's Devon Jones in the 31. I did get that the right way around, didn't I? Yes, I did. He is absolutely flinging the car at this last complex right in front of us, to the point where Jeff Mosing, I think he's A, impressed, and B, just like loving watching it at the moment, the way that Mini just slides through, jacked up at the back, the Mini, and the back end just sort of flicks out. Magnificent stuff. If you sort of squint just a little bit and put it into black and white, you could be watching something in any era from the birth of the Mini. That car just doing exactly what a Mini should. Jeff Mosing now has to go slightly defensive because he's got the 27 Mazda, and that is the best of the 4 Mazdas that are in relatively close competition. Sitting right behind him as the leader is coming through that gap, that gaggle. Chris Green now having to come through that battle again. Ah no, check that, it's the 68 car, of course, isn't it? Yes. Matt Keegan, sorry. Kind of still expecting to see the 77 if you've just joined us. Matthew Keegan's 77 car and the team, C360R guys, have borrowed the 68 car from MIA. It is the C360 guys who are doing the pit stop. MIA will get the team points, but the driver points go to the regular 77 car, and that's because they had some issues that could not be rectified before race time. If you look carefully on the front end of the 68, when it comes past you, you will see the C360 logo on the front of the car, on what I would call the bonnet, the hood, although the engine isn't under there, in fairness. It's coming to the end of the back straight now, turning in. Very, very impressed with Chris Green. Another 3/10 taken from Paul Holton. The gap, as near as makes no difference at the head of the field, Jeremy, is 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Similar job being done by Tyler Cook in ST at the moment, where there's 7 seconds between him and the chasing pack, which is led by the 37 Mini of Mike Lamara.
And the race leader again clocking off laps. So this comes across the time. This is 26.9 that lap. And you'll be extended the lead now. It's over 10 seconds from first to second. In ST, the BMW still leads by about 5 seconds over Mike Lamar. That's actually come down a little bit over the last couple of laps. Derek Jones is closing in on them. Devin Jones is closing on Derek Jones as well. So there's only just about a second in between each of those two cars. Jeff Mosing just slipping back a little bit in car number 56, but still in the 5th position in the class. And Derek Jones just set his best lap of the race in ST with a 1:33.7.
Yeah. Derek's the Mini and Devon's the Porsche. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Derek the Mini. Derek the Mini, Devon the Porsche.
Yep.
Just keep remembering that in your head, dear listener and viewer. Now, about 10 minutes ago, I said we were having a great scrap between two great old rivals in manufacturer terms, the blue oval of Jack Rouse Jr. in the Ford Mustang and the bow tie of the Chevy Camaro and Matt Bell. It hasn't ceased for a moment. No, it hasn't. There's about half a second or so, if that, between them as they come into the braking area for turn number 8. And I get to look out of the window now and see, first of all, Jack Rouse Jr. coming through. Just holding the car in the middle of the road out of the last left-hander before they come into the final corner on the start-finish straight. And let it go too far because you've got to hold the car back to the left-hand side of the road. And give up a little bit of speed into turn 9 so that you can square off turn 10 and get a good run down the start-finish straight.
So cool to see those the Ford Mustang and the Chevy Camaro so closely matched. Agreed. Battling for 3rd and 4th there. Jack Rouse Jr. and Matt Bell. They don't have anything for the McLarens on this day, certainly, but there's nothing to choose between those two. Matt Bell apparently has just made the move somewhere through that first sector.
Yes.
Don't know where it was.
Just got through. Looked like he was setting up Jack Rouse Jr. The Chevy then has got ahead of the Ford for 3rd position. Now, remember this, 18 seconds to Paul Holton in 2nd, 29 seconds to the leader for Matt Bell. Can he do anything about those two? So, the 57 car, the 59 car going slowly. Jack Rouse Jr., that's why the Chevy got through. It's going very slowly. The Canadian Motorsport machine in the hands of Jack Rouse Jr. The pit board is out for it, but that looks like a car that has some issues. They are going to go under the car. They've got the blocks ready to put the car up and hold it there. It's in the pit lane. Let's go down to Shea Adam, who is already down at the Canadian Motorsport pit.
You know, it's never going to be a good pit stop when their fueler is ready to go, but not tire change, because the mechanics are too busy worrying about damage. Instead, the car comes into my view, and all 4 tires have air. There is no visible damage. They work on refueling it immediately. The mechanics are getting a good look around the car before they actually go to work, but they are putting the yellow blocks underneath the air hose jacks that come out underneath the car automatically, and that means that somebody will be crawling up underneath the car. That is a safety procedure they must do before anyone gets anywhere near the bottom of the car, waiting until the fueling is done before they put the blocks on the left-hand side. John? And
a problem out there for Alan Brynjolfsson as well in the other Ford, the number 7 car. Accident damage to the front of that car, left front. Let's go back down to Shea as we continue with this pit stop, this lengthy pit stop for Canadian Motorsport and the 59 Ford. They've elected not to put the blocks under the left-hand side of the car, but a mechanic is lying down looking through the bottom of the car. No one is working on it right now. All the mechanics are waiting for further instructions. The car is plugged in. Now they're bringing the blocks back around. This is going to be a lengthy stop for our Watkins
Glen race winners.
Now, the other thing we're going to have to keep an eye on at the moment, Jeremy, and you've got your lap chart here, so you can help with this, is that the pace of Chris Green and Paul Holton is such that they are coming up through the GS field, and the guys from 6th on downwards, Cameron Castles, might get lapped here, and that has championship implications. Into the pit lane comes who? Is that Brynjolfsson? He's made it back to the pit lane. Shea Adam.
There's actual crash damage on this car. The left front of it has been adjusted and shortened, let's say. I can see the Continental clearly from the front of the car, and there is a significant amount of damage to the left rear of the car as well. That has been pushed in. The mechanics are looking at the tires. They're trying to pull out the bumper on that number 7, trying to get it to stop rubbing, and now duct tape has been thrown across the wall. But John, this is highlighter orange, not highlighter yellow duct tape, so that will not work with the livery. The crew is very, very much hard at work, though, trying to get the car even mildly repaired so they can go back out. Debut race for this car with this team, and they want their Ford Mustang GT4 to finish the first time out. The blocks, by the way, for the number 59, they got out these supplementary blocks to raise it up on its super high jacks. This is going to be a very long stop. Jack Roush Jr., though, still behind the wheel. They have not yet called it a day.
Just becomes a test session for the 59 Ford team at this point, already dropping down through the ST category and have lost 2 laps to the leader. Half an hour gone, just over. And Jeremy Shaw, the point I was making there from a championship perspective, Cameron Castles really needs to try and stay on the lead lap here. Trent Hinman, good though he is, will do very well to make up a lap without some help later on in the race. 45 minutes, remember, that the each driver has to do to be scored in the race, and Cameron is right on the end of the lead lap at the moment.
Yeah, he is, and yeah, there's several cars in danger of going a lap down, certainly to the leader now. Overall, really, Chris Green setting a torrid pace at the front there. Yeah, 27.1 last time around, and he is stretching his margin pretty much at every lap, half a second or so, even over Paul Holton. We know how quick Paul Holton is. He's been on the pole a couple of times already this season. Meanwhile, number 68, Matt Keegan, is flying along there. He's reducing that deficit to Dylan Murkoff. That's a battle between 4th and 5th places, with the number 68 car closing on a number 28.
Live in sound and vision with an hour and a half still to go. Remember, tomorrow in Canada and the rest of the world, apart from the US, you can watch live flag-to-flag coverage of the IMSA WeatherTech Championship here on IMSA TV and IMSA Radio together. If you're in the US, it's on FS1. And news coming to us of more interest in the WeatherTech Championship. Helio Castro Neves will be moving to the Honda Daytona Prototype International Sports Car team in 2018. So Penske already starting to think about their driver lineup for the new Honda DPI, although Castro Neves still going to do the Indianapolis 500. That coming from Marshall Pruitt and Racer.com. Check out that story at Racer.com right now. Shea Adam for this Continental Tire Sports Car update.
Scott Maxwell, the number 15 Ford just left the pit lane. Why did it come in the first place?
I still have no idea. I know he had a vibration in the center of the car, which is exactly what I had yesterday in practice just before we snapped the drive shaft. So they still don't know. They're taking it back to the paddock, or they're going to have a look, but that's probably our data.
Sorry to hear that.
That's the way racing is. Just glad to be here.
Amazingly good attitude. By the way, Alan Brynjolfsson off at the side of the road earlier on, which is what caused the dent in the left-hand side of that car. Can't tell you whether he jumped or was he pushed. The 7 car definitely coming into contact with the tyre wall. That car has just gone back out again. Bottom of turn 2, 3 maybe.
Yeah, I would say it was somewhere around about there.
Yeah. Back underway from the pit lane now. 14.5 seconds for Chris Green in the McLaren, who leads ST led by Tyler Cook by 6.5 seconds. The 84 BMW holding advantage at the moment, but they're queuing up now behind Mike Lamara in the 37 Mini. He's got company. He's got the Joneses behind him. Porsche, Devon, and Mini 37 Derek. Now both within tenths of second place, Mike Lamara in the 37 Mini, and that is a cracking battle.
It is, and with the second of the Minis, number 73, catching up to the Porsche car number 31. Now this has enabled Mike Lamara to edge out just a little bit over the lap, or over the last lap or two. When I say a little bit, I mean a little bit, maybe 10, 12 car lengths. But now Devin Jones has got the hammer down again. He's trying to close in on that Mini, but the number 73 car, that was the pole sitter. 2 race wins already under this season for number 73, closing in that battle for second and third. And the race leader, Tyler Cook, he's about 6.5 seconds in front of those two.
And those guys have just been lapped again by the leader. And Chris Green is off after Tyler Cook, who's the leader of ST. Significant thing is how far up the GS field he is. The 21 car in 9th position is off the lead lap. And so the 35 will be the next to go a lap down if the pace continues from Chris Green. 45 minutes, the minimum driver time. GS cars around here probably do about 50-55 minutes, Jeremy, do you think?
Yeah, maybe. It might be a stretch to go that far.
Yeah, because it's quite a lot of flat out running here, isn't it?
Yeah, and the cars have smaller fuel tanks this year in general in GS than they have in the past.
Cameron Castles with the Stars and Stripes and the maple leaf on the roof of the Trimtex
position, their 4th position. Matt Keegan has worked his way past Dylan Murcott. Yeah.
What a drive that is.
For somebody who's never been here before, his first season professional racing, stunning.
And that, remember, is the substitute car. That's the backup. Somebody else's car. Matt Keegan is very, very happy indeed at the moment. Comfy. 10 seconds now behind Matt Bell in 3rd. And charging.
Yeah, and charging. And now, of course, he's already placed 2nd in the championship. Is Matt Keegan along with Nico Ronde, so they are looking for a really good point stake.
Sorry to say, I'm afraid that the Jack Roush Mustang, by the way, has gone behind the wall. Jack Roush Jr., the 59 car, has gone behind the wall. Sorry, just a moment or two ago. I'm right in saying that Shade has gone behind the wall. It's not still sitting on its high jacks.
You are correct.
Thank you. Can't see that far down the pit lane from my vantage point here at the outside of the final corner. And it has gone back to its garage, I'm hearing from Bubba Clark. Thank you, Bubba. Listening into the team radios for me. So Cameron Castles then circulating in the Trimtex Porsche Cayman, 7th position. It's about 9 seconds behind Till Bechtelsheimer, 7 seconds ahead of the 35 car. So he is in between the two CJ Wilson racing cars. Chris Green has not really eased his pace at the head of the field, Jeremy.
No.
27.5 last time around, still the fastest man on the track. You've got a feel for Paul Holton because he's putting some very, very consistently quick laps in. He's in the mid to late 27s, whereas Chris Green is in the early to mids. He's just not making any inroads into the 69's lead at all.
No, that's true. And number 69 car almost coming to put a lap on number 35 machine. That's Russell Ward, the wheel of that car, in 8th position overall.
Yes, and that will be a significant moment. Damien Faulkner to get in after Russell has done his stint. Well, it's the championship I'm thinking about, Jeremy, with that number 12 car.
Mini's 2nd and 3rd now in the ST class, with number 31 car being overtaken by number 73 of Derek Jones. So Derek now ahead of Devon, and Michael Johnson is continuing to move his way forward. In fourth position in SC is Devon Jones. Mark Drennan in fifth, car number 27. Then Jared Selinsky doing a really good job in just his third Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge start in car number 52. Then Christopher Stone in the Murillo Mazda, and then Michael Johnson, who's just overtaken the championship leader Jeff Mosing,
who is just gently dropping down the field. Now, I don't know if that car's got a problem,
or whether he's how he's doing with his back, which he hurt a couple of weeks ago.
I wonder if he's got a bit more pain on this bumpy surface than he had on the very smooth surface of Watkins Glen less than a week ago. Pinched sciatic nerve that he is feeling the pain through, particularly through 1 and 2, although frankly if he's getting pain there, he'll be getting pain pretty much all the way around. And pain is tiring. And I just wonder if that's taking some of Jeff's legendary concentration skills. He's just dropped down the field a wee bit. Side by side coming out the final corner there, one of the BMWs. I think that was Tyler Cook going by, putting a lap on the number 75 rear block car of the Audi. Yes, it was. Well, Ray not making life easy for the leader there as they go over turn 2. The Compass 360 project, that's Audi S3 all-wheel drive. Why block the driver in this first part of the race. Mike Lamara in the 37 Mini, holding that gap at around about 6 seconds, and I say that because Tyler Cook was held up just a tiny bit through 1 and 2. It's come down to just on 5, but he's got Derek Jones in the 73 Mini closing in on him, so it's 37 in second, 73 in third in ST. 4-cylinder Mini engine screaming as they pull out of the Moss complex and head up the back straight. No scheduled pit stops as yet. Expect the lead Mazda number 27 to be in the pit lane shortly. They're starting to move around, but the two Minis now are battling, coming through to turn number 10 right in front of us. There's not half a Mini between them at the moment. Lamara and Derek Jones. The 37 has the red bonnet with the white stripes, the 73 the black bonnet with the white stripes, both with the stars and stripes on the roof as they trail brake over the top of turn 2 and into turn 3. Magnificent stuff from the two Minis. And pulling away now from Devon Jones in the 31 Porsche, second and a half further back. And Andrew Carbonell on the wall, which means the 26 of Liam Dwyer, the Mazda, sitting in 21st position overall, is at least beginning to think about coming in. Well, we've done the 45 minutes, Jeremy, in about a minute's time.
Yes, so one would expect pit stops fairly soon. I'm not sure how far the ST cars can go here, actually. I must admit, I haven't had an opportunity to get down and figure out what their fuel consumption is.
Now, Cameron Castles might just stay on the lead lap here.
Yeah, so he's trying
Has
to do.
Russell Ward gone a lap back yet, Jeremy?
Yes.
He has. Right. So that is 8th overall. Just dropped off the lead lap, so they really need to stay out, don't they, a lap longer than the leaders, if they can. Or do they pit now? The 35 car. Do they pit as soon as they can and get Demo in and hope he can make up a bit of ground, get back on the lead lap at least for a moment? 73's got a problem. This is the second car in ST, goes wide at turn 3, and it's slowing. Looks down on the left front, and that second position has gone. Derek Jones already through. Mike Lamara. No, it is the 73. The 73 that's got the problem, and it is a left front problem.
It is, and the
Mike Lamara's gone through.
A number 12 car has just gone a lap down, so they need to get that pit stop made really as soon as they can. The problem, of course, is they will definitely need another pit stop before the end of the race if they come in now. So it's a tricky call that they have to make.
Oh, what a shame for the 73. Derek Jones was driving brilliantly. He was very quick indeed. Devon Jones has gone by him now. It'll be the Mazda going through next. There it goes. So he's now already down to 5th position. The only slight positive about this is he can make his driver change if he comes in now, if there's no more damage. Take it steady, son. Come on, get it into the pit lane. We are still under green flag conditions, and we are under 45 minutes. So the Mini here, they've got to make a virtue out of this necessity. Get this car turned around, get the driver change done, and hope for a bit of yellow.
Yeah, he certainly lost a lot of ground though with this much slower lap, of course, to lift that car back to the pit on the puncture, so it'll cost him a lot of time. Here comes now the number 12 car on pit lane as the race leader comes through to complete lap 32.
And Shea has the 73 Mini.
Best news I could possibly deliver. It's not a broken suspension. When I first saw the tire coming around, it was on a slant with a lot of camber. It is not the issue, though. It is just a puncture. They are doing the driver change. Matt Pombo has already been installed. They are doing 4 new Continentals, not just the one that was damaged, but they are having trouble getting the wheel off.
Meantime, the driver change is completed on the 12, and Trent Hinman is just finishing bolting himself in. 5 lug nuts on each of the wheels and a new set of Continental tyres for the Body Motion number 12 Cayenne. Chip?
They changed the front wheels. They have not yet done the left rear. That is the only Continental left on the number 73 Mini. Derek Jones is already over the wall. They changed the other 3. They're not changing that left rear, though. That is the tire that will be stressed over the course of this race, and that might just be a problem for them later on.
The car is down and away from the Mini pit stall, and also Body Motion is down and gone. 26 is in with a bit of damage on the right front. Liam Dwyer is out. The tyres have been changed, and that car is down and away. That was a very, very quick Mazda pit stop. Very quick indeed. Matt Pombo out in the Mini. Andrew Carbonell confirmed in the 26 Mazda, and Trent Hinman confirmed on timing and scoring in the Porsche number 12, the Body Motion car. 18 car in, and that looks like a slow stop for that car, Shea.
Very slow driver change as Aurora Strauss got out and Connor Bloom got in. They popped the hood to look at something just to make sure that everything would be okay for Connor. When I talked to Aurora a bit earlier on, she said that they were worried about being down on pace, but now the car goes out.
And Jay Zielinski has put the 52 Mini solidly into the wall. Damage at the front. This is turn 3 again. He hasn't got as far around as some people that we've seen, and it's a full course yellow. A full course yellow now with 1 hour and 11.5 minutes to go. Well, well, well. Now, right-hand side, front and side damage on the yellow and black car. And how far around the corner did he get? Oh, he got a touch. He got a touch from the TGM car. So there's only one of the TGM cars.
No, it's not the TGM. There isn't a TGM.
Sorry,
car.
wrong.
Was that a number 12 car? Was that?
It must have been the 12 car. It must have been Trent Hinman coming out the pits. Wrong series there, Hindhoff. Similar colour scheme.
What do you mean wrong series?
Wrong Porsche, sorry.
Wrong Porsche, yeah.
Yes.
They look similar now with that new trim
with
text.
the trim text, red and blue stripes on the side. Let me get another look at a huge off. Right up in the air for the 52. And big air and a solid thump at the front end. The door netting is down, and a thumbs up from the intervention crew.
Yeah, Jared Selinsky had a really, really excellent run going there. In the 6th position in the class. And in that Fuse Mini, Fuse is a long-time supporter of Dr. Selinsky.
The tyre wall once again doing its job. Hate to think what that would have been at an unprotected part of the circuit. Jared Selinsky out and into the Porsche Cayenne GTS. Both of the fast intervention rapid response vehicles are there. There's a little Bobcat going over there as well to put the tyres back into some kind of semblance of order. So Chris Green's 20-odd second lead is going to disappear. Tyler Cook's 6-second lead is going to disappear. Oh, well, track services out there as well with some more tyre bills going out. So this will give us time to get a set of pit stops going through. Now, it may be a moment or two before the pit stop, before the pit window opens. And this might be very, very good news indeed for those who have not yet made their pit stops.
The safety car hasn't yet picked up the race leader.
No, I don't think so, Jeremy. Yes, it has. Yeah, yes, it has.
Is it?
Just coming into sight through the final corner.
No, that's the second place
That's the second place car that picked up Paul Holt.
Yeah.
So that'll have to be a wave by.
Well, that's the second week in a row the 69 car has fallen afoul somehow of the safety car. He's going to have to, I guess he's going to have to back off unless the safety car is going to wave everybody else around. We don't know how that happened, whether the safety car came out in the wrong place or whether somehow Chris Green overtook it. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
It's very difficult, isn't it, if the leader's in traffic to scramble the safety car quick enough to be able to pick them up.
Yeah. So
the leader
I would suggest that the smart thing to do probably, they will be on the phone, on the radio with race control. What do we do here? And if they're told to back off, then he has to slow right down and let the safety car catch up. There will be communication between race control and that MIA team.
Well, the Volt car is back out for Alan Brynjolfsson after having their problems.
4 laps down.
Sitting directly behind the race leader. Then I'm looking at the safety car is catching them up. That's exactly what they're doing. And 76 can't go through though. 76 can't overtake, can't follow the safety car through. He's going to have to drop back. Oh dear. All kinds of confusion here. The 25 Mazda involved as well with Chad McCumbee at the wheel, and he'll drop into line as well in front of the second place car, which is exactly what he should do. Well done. Well, lots of chatter on the radio there.
Yeah, number 25, once this is all sorted out and the safety car is at the head of the pack, ahead of the GS and overall race leader, then any cars that are trapped between the safety car and the ST leader, which is quite a long way back, will be waved through. That includes number 25 MX5. The number 18 car, I think, is in there as well, but that is a lap down. That car has already made its first pit stop.
Pits are still closed because of the gaps in the field. There's a red and orange indicator that flashes to show that the pits are closed. And there's one of those that can be seen as you come through turn number 9. So you can make a decision. Basically, you go on, your pit or no pit decision can be made in time. So full course yellow has been out now for some 6 minutes for the Mini number 52, which definitely had some help into the wall, and that is a very heavily damaged Mini. It's a shortened Mini at that. That's gone in pretty much straight on. Good to see Jared getting out of that car. Jared Zielinski getting out of that car unaided. The driver safety cell doing its job. He was able to open the door himself, waited until the safety crews got to him. Thanks to all of our corner workers and marshals, by the way. Well, it's a little bit quieter out there. Track services, intervention and recovery crews, as well as everyone working on the grounds here this weekend, whether you're pointing us in the right direction to park our cars or checking our passes. You're giving up your time, it's very much appreciated, as well as the men and women on the flag stands and around the actual circuit itself. So I think the pits will be open this time around.
I think so, John, yes.
Pit close light still on at the moment until the final group of stragglers
So
waved round.
Matt Pombo, having made that pit stop in the Mini, kind of a 73 that was running so strongly earlier, had that puncture, came into the pits. That car is a lap down, but now when the other leaders come into the pits, it will be back at least onto the lead lap.
Correct. It's a question of how far they can go without another pit stop. Can they go to the end? Now, Russell Ward is right behind the leader, having just lost the lead lap. So, what's he going to do? Pits are open. Pits are open. Brynjolfsson stays out. Russell Ward stays out the 35. Had to. 84. Tyler Cook stays out because the ST cars are not allowed to come in this time around. It's only the GS cars that are allowed in. Now the team go to work on Chris Green's car. Chris already getting helped out of the car. The scissor action door.
Watch here how quick the McLarens often have slightly longer pit stops. They've got one centre lock wheel on each of the wheels. The Camaro and all of the other GS cars have 5 lug nuts on there, but there's only one wheel gun allowed for each of the McLaren guys, and you have to be very careful threading that new wheel nut on. You can't just slap it on like you would a GT3 car or a regular wheel nut. So often we've seen the McLaren pit stop slightly slower than the other contenders. We will watch these pit stops now.
Matthew Keegan has gotten out of the number 68 and handed over to Pierre Klein, Nico Ronde, sorry. The 76 has had Paul Holton get out from behind that McLaren. He has indeed handed over to his teammate as well. 4 new tires for both of those cars. Further down the pit lane, the 28 has come in. Dylan has handed over to Dylan. 4 new tires for the RS1 Porsche. And for 33, Darth Kamen, Mark Miller has been installed and given 4 new Continentals.
Meantime, further back up the pit lane, as Jeremy suggested, the fuel is still going in to the cars at the back end of the pit stop. Dylan Murcott's 28 car, the RS1, with the mechanic actually leaning on the front of the car. That's down and away now, and that's going to come out behind Mark Miller, is it? Yes, I think so. Mark was down and away a tad bitter. And at least one of the McLarens, the 76 car, the leader, has been beaten out. A second place car, excuse me, has been beaten out. The 68 car still about to roll. There it goes. Just left. I think Mark Miller got in front of the 76 as well, Shea.
Mark Miller definitely beat out both of them. Chris Green, and I believe that was the helmet of Stephen behind the wheel of the number 57. They both managed to get out. Robin Liddell in the Stevenson car, but they beat it out. Then was Mark Miller, so Mark Miller should be 3rd.
Well, the ST cars could come in this time around, so Tyler Cook should lead them in, and indeed does. It'll be Cook, Devin Jones, Mike Lamara coming in 1st, 2nd and 3rd, and Shea Adam has the pit action.
Tyler Cook hits his marks perfectly. He's about halfway down the pit lane, and James Clay jumps over the pit wall. They have 4 new Continentals for that BMW and a lot of fuel. The number 27 Miata that was waiting to come in before the pits closed, that will be Britt Casey Jr. taking over. The 37 Mini has James Vance getting ready to jump in. They are also doing 4 tires for that one. And the 44, the CRG I Do Borrow car, Owen Trinkler wasting no time. As soon as Sarah Catania hits her marks, he jumps over. He was actually just vibrating a little bit. He He was bouncing up and down on the pit lane, waiting for Sarah to get out of the car. They are doing front tires only for the Nissan. Everybody's still receiving service, fueling going on up and down the pit lane. There are a lot of drivers' doors open. The first that closes was the number 84, but the 84 will be beaten out by the 31. That means that Devin Jones is handed over to Drake Kemper. So Drake Kemper now leads in a Porsche. He was wearing a Novex Canadian bow tie earlier. He is followed out by the 84 of James Clay, then the 37 of James Vance, 56 Eric Foss, 27 Brett Casey Jr., 34 Christian Simchek, then the 44 of Owen Trinkler, and all of a sudden it got a lot quieter as the 25 is still on pit lane receiving service. 4 new tires for that. It's Stephen McAleer behind the wheel. 54 just rolls past me now. That is the BMW with Steven Simpson taking over from a great drive of Michael Johnson. We have only the 65 and the 63 Porsches waiting to go back out. They're both orange and white, and that's the sound of the 25 hitting the pit lane. Whew, that got busy.
This is going to be very interesting for number 54 car. How quickly were they able to drag Michael out of that car and install Stephen? Because we've seen how fast that car is. Great. And Stephen is certainly generally a little bit quicker than Michael even. So that could be a very, very strong car to watch in the closing stages. The strategy at this stage for a change for that team has worked in its favour. But how quick was that pit stop?
Now, we should be getting another wave by here to reset the field. In fact, that is happening even as I speak. So this is good news for Russell Ward. Russell needs to hustle.
And the number 21 car and the number 12, which is coming onto pit lane, however.
The 12's come onto pit lane before it got its back, did it? No, that's the second time that car's been in.
Yeah.
So Trent Hinman back on the pit lane for the number 12 car. Shea Adam, this cannot be a scheduled stop unless they didn't get all the fuel in last time around. Is that it?
No, they just topped him off. They might be thinking that they can go to the end from here. That would be extremely optimistic.
Well,
but
58 minutes.
They checked the left rear of the car while it was stationary, while they were just putting a little bit more fuel into that number 12.
So a splash for the number 12. That may be tactical.
Well, yeah, but I think by making that stop, I think they will have gone back a lap down again.
Not sure about that, Jeremy. I was thinking that myself. And
is that number 54 car on pit lane one more time? Why is that?
That's again, that shouldn't have come back in. It's just been in.
It should not have come back in. They are running around the driver's side, popping open the door. Maybe not all the belts were done up correctly as Stephen gives a thumbs up, and now they go back out. That's probably what it was.
It's a shame. That's certainly going to cost them several positions.
Yeah, but you can't drive.
The good news is the pass around to the cars that were tracked between the race leader and the
safety car.
And the ST leader.
Yeah, sorry.
Haven't yet caught up with the rest of the pack, so the 54 car won't lose as many positions as he would otherwise have done.
Right turn lover asking about the stop for Darth Kamen. Great stop, he says, to get Mark Miller ahead of the two McLarens. Brilliant work by the CJ Wilson Racing crew. I'm just trying to find out, Shea, you might want to ask the CJ Wilson Racing team if they just did 2 tyres and maybe even short-filled that car. It was excellent work. I'm not by any means casting any aspersions, but that was super, super quick to get them ahead of so many cars. I think we've got Jesse Lazar leading in the 69 from Robin Liddell and Mark Miller up into 3rd position, the 35 car. That is Russell Ward, the second of the CJ Wilson Racing team. He's in the pits getting a new set of Continentals at the moment. Shea?
It's not going well, John. When they went to change the left front Continental, the car was not completely up on its air jack. And so the mechanic got the wheel off, no problem, but then the car kind of sagged down a little bit. So now, just now, they are getting to the right front. Now they drop the car off the jacks, and Damo's being cleared to leave the pit lane, but that was at least twice as long as it should have been for the tire change. So from one great pit stop to one not so great pit stop.
Okay. But the good news is that it's under yellow, so he's not lost as much ground.
Curious to know what number 12 car would have come in then for that pit stop, because they've gone back a lap down again and unlikely to be able to get that lap back.
Damien Faulkner back out, also has dropped.
Great pit stop, by the way, in ST by the body motion team. So the number 12 car running in GS class, not quite sure why that, I'd say they've perhaps lost an opportunity there. The number 31 car, the sister car running in ST, brilliant pit stop by those guys. And that Drake Kemper now will lead the class ahead of James Clay and James Vance in the BMW, James Vance in the Mini, and then the Porsche of Eric Foss.
David Balthasar, hello David. Great to have you listening in. Tweets to us here at IMSA Radio. Did I see that the 68 was using fuel churns to fill that McLaren? And Alan Prosser noticing that the 68 incoming driver, who was Nico Ronde, had to pretty much push the fuel out of the way to get the door open. We'll check that for you. Some other news from the pit lane. The 33 Mark Miller car, Shea Adam, took what in terms of service?
4 tires and a full load of fuel. It was a brilliant stop by the CJ Wilson boys.
Oh, right, okay. Well, that's third position. And it will be Jesse Lazare then, who comes back to green this time around. Don't pass the safety car. Oh, that was very close indeed. As the safety car went into the pit lane, Jesse Lazare was very close to going past the front of that immaculate red Camaro. That was too close for comfort if I'd been his team manager. 54 minutes exactly on the clock, and we are racing to the checkered flag. Lazare, Jeremy, and Mark Miller. That is McLaren, Camaro and Porsche.
Well, what I was going to say was that particularly after last week where Jesse did pass the safety car while in the lead of the race, and it cost him 2-lap penalty.
And he's just lost the lead of the race, this time because Robin Liddell has pounced the Scotsman on his metal immediately from the restart and gets through at turn 3. Liddell led, trying to strike away from the rest of the field. Lazare in the 69 McLaren, then Mark Miller for CJ Wilson Racing. Spin for the 68 car. Oh no, Nico Ronde undoing all the great work that Matt Keegan had done earlier. Takes to the infield at turn 5 and becomes the world's most powerful and most expensive grass cutter. He's back out again, but he's lost a huge amount of time.
So problems now effectively for both of the 2 championship leaders, number 12 and number 68. He just lost it on his own there, Nico Ronde.
Cold tyres.
Yeah, a huge amount of experience, Nico. He's the lead instructor at Sim Raceway School, or whatever it's called nowadays. It used to be the Jim Russell School. I think it's called Sim Raceway, isn't it? Based at Sonoma Raceway in California. That is where he met Matt Keegan, who went to that school. And very unlike Nico to make a mistake like that. But a brilliant restart by Robin Liddell there for the Stevenson Motorsport team. This is going to be a battle now. Finding a way past that Camaro is not going to be easy, even though McLaren clearly has a speed advantage.
On the restart, so coming to green flag and passing the leader, Robin Liddell, just that car's fastest lap of the race. And the same to be said for Mark Miller as well in the 33. 1:26.7 for the Camaro, 1:26.9 for Mark Miller in the Porsche. Now, Mark Miller got to try and keep these guys ahead of him honest. He's got Matt Plum in the McLaren number 76, the C360R car, in 4th place. He's behind him by about half a second now, and right behind them is the 28 Porsche, Dylan Matchevin behind the wheel of the 28 car. Top 5 separated by 2 seconds, then a long gap, 17 seconds back to Cameron Lawrence in the 21 Porsche. Nico Ronde is about a second further back from that, so he's dropped now to 20 seconds off the lead. Trent Hinman has 9 seconds on Damien Faulkner in the 12 Porsche and the 35 Porsche, but they are both a lap off the lead. No further action I'm hearing for the side-by-side contact on the Mini, but into the pit lane.
It's number 69, isn't it?
Is that the leader? It is the leader. The 69 is into the pit lane. Now, this is a drive-through penalty. Shea Adam will get us the news on that. Let's go to Shea Adam for news on the 68 refueling question.
They have their refueling station set up, and normally if you use a refueling station from a number that is not on the side of your car, it's a penalty. It is not today. They have been using the same mold.
Okay, got you. Thank you very much indeed.
It's all changed in ST, by the way. We've now We've had the number 31 car led after the pit stops. It's now number 37, James Vance. His home race, based in Toronto, is leading race from Eric Foss up to second place in car number 56. Right behind him is Drake Kemper, and then James Clay in number 84 BMW. Christian Shimjak 34, 27 Rick Casey Jr. and Owen Trinkler 44. All right there, John.
Faster than you could see them. They're going through at the far side of the racetrack from us at Moss Corner. Now heading on to the Andretti Straight. James Vance and that Mini looking slightly incongruous, much taller than the other cars around them. The Mini very tall car, the Porsche, and even the BMW somewhat flatter. As Alan Brynjolfsson works his way through. Cameron Lawrence, by the way, back in the pits as well in the 21 Porsche. Jesse Lazare did just drive through the pit lane. Shea Adam on the case there. We'll find out why that was. And Alan Brynjolfsson, the 7 Ford, comes into the pit lane as Cameron Lawrence leaves the pits in 7th. Here's the reason for the drive-through for the 68.
It was safety car related for the number 69, yep. But it was Chris Green making the offense, not slowing down for the safety car initially. So it wasn't that the safety car missed him, he just didn't slow down for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
We thought that might have been the case, and boy, that 2 weeks running, for goodness sake. Different drivers. I think it was Jesse last time, Jesse Lazare. This time it's Chris Green, but that's a shame for that team. So they've got a super fast car, and they've certainly got plenty of time with 48 minutes remaining in this race to pull that back. But Robin Liddell, give him the sniff of a win, and he is on it. He's just set his fastest lap of the race again last time around, 1:26.6. And now he's gone purple again in sector 1. Purple in sector 1, yes. Fastest sector time of all through turns 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, and that is all about bravery, that part of the track, and a car that's handling very, very well indeed. Fastest lap of the race was put in by Chris Green on the second lap when he had clear view ahead of him at 1:25.5. So for Robin to have put a outright fastest first sector in tells you just how committed Robin and that car is at the moment. So Brynjolfsson still in the pit lane in the number 7, and he's now handed that car over to his teammate Chris Hall. 1:26.3 for Robin Liddell last time around. Mark Miller 1:26.9, fastest lap of that car's race as well, the 33, but already 2 seconds adrift, and he's got Matt Plum breathing down his neck. Just pulled out about half a second of a gap, Mark Miller, but he's got to get his heads out. Hoping for a bit of clear running. Owen Trinkler with Christian Simchak in the 34 Mazda ahead of him, and Britt Casey Jr. in the 27 behind. So the Nissan rather buzzing, being buzzed around by the Mazdas at the moment.
This is going to be a heck of a fight in ST. I think it's going to be in GS as well, but certainly in ST. Magnificent stuff here. Number 73 car. Not out of contention at all. It's got some ground to make up. It's in where? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th place, I think, in the class, but not that far adrift.
Damien Faulkner getting up to speed now, puts that car's fastest first sector of the race in, but he's 25 seconds behind Trent Hinman at the moment, who puts that car's fastest lap in, the number 12 car, 1:26.2. He's got 1 minute and 5 to catch up with Nico Ronde to make another position, but remember, he is off the lead lap of GS and therefore the lead lap of the race. And Mark Miller's just dropped down into 3rd position, so Mark Miller loses 3rd position. Matt Plum's gone through in the McLaren, and a 27.5 last time around for Mark Miller against a 27.2 from the leader, but a 26.7 for Matt Plum. And I think maybe a little fumble in traffic there. 45 minutes to go here, Jeremy, and this is an absolute barnstormer already. 3rd position, Drake Kemper has James Clay in the 84 BMW. Porsche versus BMW going through turn 3. Bright orange Mazda in there as well. It's the number 34 car for Christian Simchak, and then the pink and black, or purple and black, Nissan of Owen Trinkler, who is on an absolute tear at the moment. And don't get much of a draft behind a tiny little MX-5 in the Nissan Ultimate, do you? However, James Clay is having a look at the Christian Simchak and James Clay having a great battle, and Clay having a look at Kemper and Trinkler having a look at Simchak. He's gone through. Owen Trinkler has gone past the Mazda, so he's up a position and now trying to get onto the back of the BMW, which makes a slightly bigger hole in the air, and he's almost there. 31 Porsche, 84 BMW, 44 Nissan together and rattling through the last couple of corners, and here comes Owen Trinkler. He is a man on a mission at the moment. He's almost on the back bumper of the BMW as they come out the final corner. Immediately pulls to driver's right, tries to get the overlap. He's at the rear quarter panel. He's at the left-hand side door, right-hand side door, excuse me, but he couldn't get enough overlap to dive down the inside and backs out of it. Good driving from Trinkler, but he is on the move. He is the man on the move at the moment. James Vance leads by just 0.2 of a second in the Mini from the bright orange Porsche with the black hood of Eric Voss, and then Drake Kemper in another Porsche, the 31 car, in third position. What a battle this is.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely superb, and at the front, James Vance and Eric Voss separated by just 0.2 of a second. They got the lap to number 47 car ahead of them.
Drama for the 31 car of Drake Kemper. A penalty coming for that car. Penalty coming for Drake Kemper. And the 31 car in third position, the Porsche in ST. A pit infraction. Confirmation for that in a moment. Meantime, Mark Miller under pressure from Dylan Matchovan in the 28 Porsche. Owen Trinkler just being overtaken by the 21. That's fighting back through the field. Cameron Lawrence on his outlap. Now Owen will try and get in behind that GS car and see if he can get a little bit of a tow up to the back of Drake Kemper. Well, Drake's in the pit lane now for the drive-through.
Yeah, what a shame.
Pit equipment violation. I think he ran over something, Jeremy. This is magnificent stuff already. Robin Liddell, 3 seconds to the good on Matt Plum. Matching it to this 10th for 10th. Let's go down to the pit lane. Robin Liddell leading. His teammate Matt Bell is with Shea Adam for this Continental Tire pit lane report.
Matt Bell, you guys in the 57 Camaro, you're leading on pace. When we last talked at Circuit of the Americas, you didn't think you had anything for the McLarens, and by the end of the race, you were right. Do you have something for them today, though?
You know, we have pretty familiar issues. We're really down on top speed. That said, we're really consistent. I mean, Robin is able to just kind of peg the same lap every single time by. So that is an advantage. If they're battling behind them, if they keep making mistakes in pit lane or wherever else, that'll obviously be an advantage for us. But we are still concerned about the top speed. When it comes down to it, it's a lot easier to pass in a straight line than it is barreling into the corner or mid-corner, and that was my problem in my stint. So as they close back up, which I assume will happen, I think that's what Robin's going to be watching. He's going to have a tough job in his hands trying to keep them behind him.
You guys are developing this car. Are you feeling a difference every week that you get behind the wheel?
Absolutely. You know, it's still a pretty new automobile, and there's a lot of little issues we're hunting down. Nothing's been debilitating. We obviously haven't missed any sessions because of this stuff. Well, with the exception of the last race, obviously, but you know, every time we come into a weekend, we've got a kind of a list of things that we solved. So that's really, it's fun to watch the evolution of a race car. We'll keep learning about it every single weekend. To be honest, the Z28s, we were learning with those cars up until the last day we drove them. So every day is a school day with these race cars. But yeah, right now the learning curve is pretty steep.
John, the thing that would make you sick, Matt doesn't look like he just drove a race car for a while.
Of course he doesn't. He's as fit as a butcher's dog's personal trainer. Matt Bell there with that Continental Tire pit lane report with our Shea Adam as the leader. Robin Liddell has pulled out to 26 seconds. Jesse Lazer is absolutely on fire. 25.8 last time around, comfortably the fastest car on the circuit. He's only 12.5 seconds off the lead. He's not out of this yet in that 69 McLaren, Jeremy.
No, absolutely not. And he closed up on the battle for third and fourth, which rages now with Dylan McCaffrey having got past Mark Miller. He's closed that gap by almost 3 seconds on that last lap alone.
Yeah, Mark Miller 5 seconds away from the lead. 1:27.9. Can't match the pace of the cars ahead, and Jesse Lazer is coming, and coming like Casey Jones and the Cannonball Express. Nico Ronde having got the car pointed in the right direction. Still on the lead lap in 6th position. First car off the lead lap, Trent Hindman in the 12 Porsche. With Damien Faulkner then 31 seconds further back for the 35 Porsche of CJ Wilson Racing. In ST, 9th overall, the Mini of James Vance. Still this fabulous battle behind him. Eric Voss in the Porsche number 56, black and orange car. Owen Trinkler now, by the way, up into 3rd position. 2.5 seconds away from the lead in the 44 Nissan. Is this going to be another signature Owen Trinkler awesome piece of driving? It's got every hallmark for it at the moment. Remember, they won here last year.
Now the leaders are beginning to work their way through the ST traffic. When I say ST traffic, I mean a lot of ST traffic, so that's going to be interesting to see how they cope with that.
Remember, tomorrow it's the WeatherTech Championship, and for those of you everywhere except the States, you'll be able to watch it live on IMSA.tv with the IMSA Radio trackside call that we're giving you today for this Continental race. In the States, you've got the Fox broadcast on FS1. On IMSA TV, no interruptions, right the way through, flag to flag. And a spin for the 73 again. Oh dear, this is another issue for the 73 car. Remember, it's already had a left front puncture, which dropped it down, but had got back up into 4th position, Matt Pombo. Now, did he get a little helping bumper there? That's the question. The 84 car of James Clay was very, very close to the back of him. Christian Simchak just nipped through past the pair of them there in that kerfuffle in the orange Mazda. But 34 now up into 4th position. And Owen Trinkler continues to close on both cars ahead.
Yep. Got
the lead down to less than 2 seconds. 73 car straight back into the pits. And it looks like a new Continental, at least one new Continental tyre going on. Shea Adam.
Well, they put the car up on the air jacks and then ran around to check all 4 of the tires before they changed any of them. None were flat as it drove past me, and they have now decided to send it back out. He got away with that one.
Well, they must be thinking they could go from their last pit stop, because they didn't even bother putting any fuel in that. So that's interesting.
Yeah, no, I think the ST cars should be good to go from here.
So James Vance with Eric Voss.
Question is, can the GS cars?
I think it's tight for the guys who stopped early, Jeremy. That splash for Trent Hindman, you know, that might not have been the worst thing for Body Motion.
Well, he is a lap down, so he's going to stay a lap down. He's right with the other cars are battling away there. As Trinkler even a little bit closer that time to that battle for lead between James
Vance. Closing in.
Yeah.
He's taken half a second from the 2 leaders. Squeal of Continental rubber as it's tortured through turn number 1, and Owen Trinkler has target acquired on the 2 leaders. James Vance with Eric Voss in close attendance through turn 2. Different lines from the front-wheel drive front-engine Mini and the rear-wheel drive mid-engined Porsche sitting in behind it. The inside rear Continental barely doing any work on the Mini as he turns right-handed up the hill at turn 3, just dangling in the air. Stays off the ground almost long enough for it to stop spinning. And Trinkler closing in. Oh, and Trinkler completely committed as he goes through turn 4. The whole of that Nissan Altima sliding, beautifully controlled across the tarmac here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. 36 minutes to go. And Robert Liddell mired in traffic with Matt Plum 2.6 seconds behind, trying to get some advantage. Liddell pulls out from behind James Clay in the 84 black and white BMW and tries to use the power of that Camaro to get through and head off into the distance. 76 of Matt Plum is very quick indeed and cuts to the left, then to the right. It's like a video game on the Andretti Straight at the moment. And James Clay's in his own battle with Stephen Simpson right behind him, and that is a battle for 6th in ST. Check that, 5th in ST. So 2 BMWs. And the bright yellow car is on the move at the moment. Trent Hinman coming back through the pack as well. His pace just slightly hampered by being in traffic now.
Yeah, he's got past number 33 car, which is a lap ahead of him.
Correct.
But still 3 other cars ahead of him on that lead lap. But not so much to choose now. The gap for Robin Liddell was closed down on that last lap as he worked his way through that traffic. All those ST cars battling away, and Stephen Simpson is right back in that fight. He's right behind James Clay and number 84 BMW. The first 3 in ST got a little bit of a lead, but wait, it certainly isn't comfortable. Great stuff. Here comes that. Yeah, but now that time it was number. Where's the 28 car? Has that gone ahead of?
28 is no, sitting in 3rd still. He's ahead of Mark Miller. He did that a little while ago.
Coming up through that, just didn't see him coming up through that gaggle of cars there.
Nico Ronde, fastest lap for the 68. Remember, that is the 77 this week, the 68. That makes any sense. 77 with problems. Matt Keegan drove brilliantly in the first part of the race.
Chris Hall's hanging in there too, isn't it?
Yeah.
That number 7 car. He's several laps down, but he's hanging with that little battle that is going on there for 2nd place overall.
5 laps down, Chris Hall. Nico Ronde trying to close the gap on the charging Jesse Lazaire, who's right up with Mark Miller now, and will make that position, I'm sure. 33 minutes to go. It's going to be tight for the cars at the front of the field to go to the end of the race. Very tight indeed. Without yellow, I'll be surprised if they can do it. Now, I've been surprised in the past. Frankly, I've just been playing wrong as well, but let's go with surprised for the moment.
Yeah, don't do yourself down there. That's the joy of this race. It is unpredictable.
That's why we love sport, Jeremy. That's why we love this sport. Last 33 minutes of the IMSA Continental Tire SportsCar Challenge.
The battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th goes past. Overall goes past the ST leaders. Absolutely no to tell those 3 cars are coming up to turn 8.
Oh, and was there just a little advantage there for Eric Voss? He goes to the left and then to the right on the Mini as they come through turn number 8. And Owen Trinkler is there. Owen Trinkler is right on them. Here comes Mark Miller to go past that battling trio. This is danger time for the 33. Now, he should be able to swoop out from behind Owen Trinkler and take at least one of those cars before turn 1.
But he's already been passed there, hasn't he, now by the 69 car.
Correct. Jesse Lazaire and the McLaren's gone ahead. So Miller now down to 5th position. Mark Miller's lap times, even in traffic actually, remarkably consistent, but slower than those around him. And just going to put this out there. Is Mark wearing his pink fluffy bunny slippers and trying to save fuel? It's a very, very quick pit stop for that car that got them track position. Did they get enough fuel in it? Can it go to the end with a bit of judicious fuel saving from that car? Given what I've said about everybody ahead, whose pace hasn't eased at all, and Jesse Lazaire in particular, he's only won in the 26th this time around. It's a dangerous game to play, but if you're going to do it, you have to do it from the start of the stint. There's no point in trying to do it halfway through with the amount of fuel that needed saving there. Top 3 in ST coming down to turn number 8. Mini, Porsche Cayman, Nissan Altima. Such is the beauty and variety of Continental Tire SportsCar Challenge. Dear viewer and listener, half an hour to go, Jeremy. And This battle is extraordinary at the front of the ST field. You could probably not have 3 cars of more different philosophy in terms of what they've been built for on the road.
Oh, that's right. And the battle for 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th in ST as well is tight. Number 84 car has just worked its way past number 34, and so has 54 Steven Simpson worked past Christian Shimjak as well. A great 4-car battle for 4th place.
Don't take your eyes off the track if you're here listening on 90.7 FM on scanner frequency 454. Around the world, watching or listening. Live on IMSA.tv, of course. And every round of the Continental Tire SportsCar Challenge for 2017 live flag to flag on IMSA.tv with no blocks.
Spencer Papelli into the pits one more time. That's not part of the plan.
Drive-through penalty for Spencer in the 17 car. Connor Bloom's just gone back out in the 18. Also a drive-through.
Lots of penalties.
Yeah, people are getting confused at wave-by time, I wonder. Although it would have been more draconian than that, wouldn't it? Leader Robin Liddell has picked his way through the ST battles and now has clear track on the exit of turn number 1 in the Stevenson Camaro. Good to say that again, isn't it? The Stevenson Camaro. Such a successful partnership between the Stevenson Racing Team and GM in the past in the GS category here in Continental Tire SportsCar Challenge. Matt Plum just under 3 seconds behind Dylan Matchevin in the Porsche number 28, another second further back, and the man who is charging through now just a second away from a podium spot, Jesse Lazare, the 69 car. ST leaders sitting with 2 tenths ahead at the moment. The little hatchback of James Vance. Porsche with the trunk in the front as well as the middle. And then the Nissan with the big normal boot. Oh, just a second now between those 3. And James Clay in 3rd position has got Christian Simchak all over him again.
And Stephen McAleer in that number 25 car has just come onto pit lane. He was part of that battle for 4th place in ST. I wonder where he'd gone. He's come into the pits.
Shea Adam has this Continental Tire pit lane report.
Remember, this is the car that was bent in a very bad shape last week. They sent it to a body shop in Watkins Glen and had it repaired for this weekend. 2 mechanics lying on the pit lane, looking underneath the car, trying to evaluate what to do next. No fuel going into the car and no tires. Now they're putting it up on the air jacks. They see something underneath the car that's hanging down that really shouldn't be. I wonder if it's maybe the exhaust came a little bit loose. That's the only thing I can see sticking down. Now the blocks are coming out, so this will be a lengthy stop for the 25.
Continental Tire pit lane report from Shea Adam in the IMSA Broadcast Centre. It's Jeremy Shaw and me, John Hindhaugh. We've got just under 27.5 minutes to go. Robin Liddell in elegant isolation at the head of the field. Robin will be loving this. Just a Saturday afternoon drive in the sunshine. Now what he can do now, Jeremy, is he will be able to just pace himself to Matt Plum behind. 3.3 seconds. That's a nice manageable gap right now. We know that the Camaro has been battling gearbox overheating problems, so I would doubt that Robin is using full revs all the time with 27 minutes to go. Jesse Lazare only half a second back from Matt Plum, and that actually might play into the hands of the leader as well, because if those two start to battle, they'll slow each other down. And they are coming through the final corner now, right in front of us. And Plum has got no gap at all back to Lazare as they go across the line.
So Lazare at 1 position on that lap. He got past number 28 car, and next in his sights will be Matt Plum. Whoops.
Oh, and Steven Simpson getting...
2 BMWs getting together.
Yeah, and that was battling for 4th position. Steven Simpson and James Clay. Right in there as well. Was that Christian Simchak in the 34? I think it was.
Yep, taking advantage.
And right behind that, another Mazda, I think was Andrew Carbonell, but I think he's a little bit further.
No, he's been closing in.
Right, so he was
Brent
there.
Casey Jr.,
It was Brent Casey Jr.
27 car.
Yeah.
He's been closing in. Just about to talk about that, actually. He's been going very, very well. And the other car's trying to make his way back is Drake Kemper in the 31 car.
It was Stephen McAleer who was there, who's just pitted out of that battle with damage, I think.
Yeah, it was a couple of laps ago he came into the pits.
And that was a couple of laps ago then that action happened down at turn 5.
No, I think that was this lap. It was, because they all came past together.
Just seen the onboard from Stephen's 25 car, and he ran right up the back of the Simchat car. So I think he might have done himself a little bit of harm there. That's just stacking up in the braking area. No malice aforethought there. Men's rear, not happening. Robin Liddell by 5 seconds. Oh, the 68 car has come to a halt. Nico Ronde at the side of the circuit. And he's well off the track at the moment. He engages reverse gear on the 68 with the C360R roundel on the side. And he's reversing that into a place of safety. That's really considerate driving from Nico.
Yeah, and that's a shame, because Matt Keegan just did a sensational job in the first stint. Nico's been struggling a bit. He hasn't been able to keep up that pace in the latter stages of this race. And that was a car, remember, that was second in a championship.
25 car goes behind the wall after that incident at turn 5 a couple of laps ago. So no more playing for the 25 car. Nico Ronde drops out. That means that Damien Faulkner will get a position when he comes by next time around and go up into 7th, but still a lap off the lead. Damien's time's not too bad. Shea Adam, speculation then at speculation time. We love to do this. I think that Mark Miller is doing a bit of pink fluffy slippers. What about the 4 ahead? 28 Porsche, 76 McLaren, 69 McLaren and 57 Chevrolet. To the end on fuel? Question mark.
Well, Brian Till said it best. It depends which way the wind is blowing. Everyone is to the point where if the race goes 1 lap further than they think it will go, they will all run out on the last lap. The team said that they didn't give Mark any specific number to hit, but that's not saying that he's not doing something. And everybody is sort of on the same page. We'll push as hard as we need to, but we'd really like one more yellow, please.
Well, they may not get that at the moment. Very, very dangerous.
I don't know with the intensity of some of these battles.
Well, yes, that's true, Jeremy, but it's very dangerous, isn't it, to rely on that. You've got to play the hand that you've got at the time, play to the conditions, as it were. CJ Wilson Racing have just tweeted that 17 seconds advantage for CJ Wilson. Mark Miller now can save fuel and not worry about his position. Really?
Well, yeah, he's out of it in any case. He's got his only hope is the other guys running out of fuel.
Correct.
But in the what a great job James Vance is doing at the head of that battle in ST, holding off. Was that was okay? No, it's the CJ Wilson car going ahead of Jeff Mosing there, or Eric Foss, I should say. So that just splits up that back, that battle just a little bit. And was a lap down now and falling away quite substantially, half a second a lap or more from Trent Hinman, who's pulling away in car number 12. Both of those two cars, 12 and 35, a lap down to the leaders. Yeah.
And lapping in the 28s, the leader, Robin Liddell, in the 27s. 28 flat for Jesse Lazare, now up into 2nd place. Lazare then through into 2nd, ahead of Matt Plum, 57, 69, 76.
A couple of laps ago, and that gap between 1st and 2nd, interestingly, hasn't really changed since Jesse got up into 2nd place.
Yeah.
4.8 seconds, and 4.4, now 4.7 again.
Yeah, it was 3.3 when Matt Plum was there, but that battling, as I suggested, it might give a little advantage to Robin Liddell at the front of the field. Certainly has done that. Owen Trinkler has not been able to challenge Eric Foss and James Vance. The worry there for me would be that he slightly burns out his front tyres with that charging through the field. Now, a bit of traffic at turn 1. Is this the opportunity for Eric Foss on James Vance, for Owen Trinkler on the pair of them? They go to the skyline and head down the Big Dipper to the bottom of the hill at turn number 3. The leader in ST, James Vance, does pass the traffic well, in fairness. Lovely piece of driving by the Porsche being lapped, which was the 63 car. Got well out of the way there. So they head through turn 4 for their 61st time of asking. Now into the braking area. Oh, just a little bit defensive there by James Vance, and he's missed his apex. He's gone wide. They'll be side by side coming out of Moss Corner. Eric Voss has got half a chance here, and Owen Trinkler might just pounce as well, but he can't make it happen. But Voss has stymied himself coming out the corner, and Trinkler has the opportunity. Gets up alongside the left-hand side door. Noses the Nissan ahead just as it goes past the camera halfway down the Andretti straight, but Trinkler's on the wrong side to turn into the right-hander. He's got to get this done up, be very brave, and Voss does take the line on the inside. Great driving.
Brilliant driving there, and once again we saw there the power of the Mini coming off the corner. The front-wheel drive just drags that car off the Moss hairpin, and he pulls out enough of a lead on the beginning part of that straight to be able to hold off those two cars behind. Great stuff.
But how tight are these cars in performance, whereby it looked like the lead might change, with James Vance just slightly missing his turn in to 5A. Voss thinks, I've got a chance here. He has a go and almost loses his second place. Magnificent. This is spellbinding stuff at the front of the ST field. It is, and about they're falling back. The next little battle going on there for 4th, 5th and 6th. They remain nose to tail as well. The 84, 34 and 54. Well, they've got Cameron Lawrence coming back through them at the moment in the 21 GS Porsche, and I think that's just slightly disrupted that scrap for the moment. Owen Trinkler dropping away for a moment from the two leaders. Now, is he just cooling his heels a tiny bit as Eric Voss again tries the long way around into turn 5. Round the left-hand side, will do the old over and under and try and get the power on early. He knows that Mini's very quick off the corners. Oh, he's got a good drag up to the bright red bumper of the 37 car, but he can't hold on to it even with the amount of air that the Mini moves. It is quick on that back straight. Owen Trinkler pulls out of the slipstream for a moment to try and perhaps get a little bit of air onto the front end of the Nissan Altima. Now, 4th, 5th and 6th, 84. James Clay, Christian Simchak in the bright orange number 34 Mazda, and then Stephen Simpson in the yellow. That's the BMW. Simchak's gone defensive very early to the right-hand side. Simpson stays with him, mirrors his movement, comes out very late to the slipstream, tries to go down the right and the inside, but can't do it. This is great stuff.
Absolutely brilliant.
Exactly what we want to see, Jeremy.
Yeah, and what's so cool, each of these three battles, these two battles between three cars, a mistake there for number 84 car.
And it's 3 wide.
Stephen Simpson on the inside.
There's a touch between the Mazda and the BMW, the former leading BMW, and Stephen Simpson and the 85 BM goes from 3rd to 1st, 3 wide after the 10th and final corner, and Simpson in the 54 car takes the lead on lap number 63.
Oh, that battle here, fantastic, fantastic, and the leaders are right. The overall race leader, Robin Liddell, who's charging as hard as he possibly can. He lost about a second on that last lap because both of them had a clear run, no traffic, but that'll change.
Well, it was quite a hard hit between the 84 BMW and Christian Simchak. That was the battle for 4th. Amazing stuff. The two leaders just getting caught up and outbraking themselves. And Stephen Simpson, with a masterstroke of opportunistic driving, went from 6th to 4th in one deft manoeuvre.
Swell foop.
Yep, leader coming through those guys at the moment as well. Meantime, in ST at the head of the field, 1st, 2nd and 3rd, oddly, are absolutely together. And they've just been passed by the 21 of Cameron Lawrence. He's a couple of laps, make that 4 laps off the leader Robin Liddell, but sitting in 8th position. Damien Faulkner in the 35 Porsche for CJ Wilson in 7th. 6th, Trent Hinman, about 40 seconds up the road. In fact, Damien taking 7/10 out of Trent last time around. Ahead of Trent Hinman in 5th position, Mark Miller. He's got about a minute and a quarter on the 12 car. 4th, Dylan Matchovan.
Yeah, what a good job
That
he's
is a
doing.
very good job in that 28 Porsche.
Absolutely hanging on to Matt Plum, which is no mean feat. Magnificent effort, I think.
Here's Owen Trinkler going for second in ST. The door unceremoniously closed ahead of him by Eric Voss. That's fine. Down the hill at 4 to 5. And this time Voss can't challenge the leader because he was too busy defending.
So 15 minutes remaining in this race.
I don't want this to end, Jeremy. Can we keep going?
Yeah, can Jesse Lazare close that gap? You know Robin Liddell's not going to give anything away.
Now, Robin Liddell last time a 27.896. Jesse Lazare 27.865.
Yeah, and traffic looming in the ST class.
The leading Mini of James Vance, the 37 in ST, just starting to get a little bit squirrely, under braking and on turn in. Sort of turning in and immediately catching the slide. He slow out the final corner, and Voss was right up the tailpipes of the Mini. Now, can Trinkler make an advantage out of this in third position in ST through the diving first corner? The Mini again dangling its rear left-hand tyre. Trinkler just trying to hold on there. This is great stuff. Now another dive down the hill into a little bit of shade at the bottom of turn 2. The Mini runs wide. Voss holds a tighter line. Half a second between the top 3 in ST. Magic stuff. Owen Trinkler just able to turn the ultimate in a tiny little bit tighter than the Porsche came in ahead of him. Don't know what that means, but I've noticed it for a little while yet. Does struggle in the slower corners. As Robin Liddell in the 57 car still hasn't got up to that battle and past them. Now here's the next car back. Oh, and Trinkler again got a good run out of Moss Corner, and he's side by side with Eric Voss in the bright orange Porsche. Oh, they nearly touched going up the top of the brow, coming into turn 8. Now, we've seen this before, and Voss held on the inside of turn number 8, and he's done it again. So they come into the final corner.
Yeah, and looming right behind them now. Yep, the race leader.
Now, this is crucial for not just these 3, Jeremy, but also for Robin Liddell. He's got 4 seconds on Jesse Lazare, but a fumble, an off-track moment, and that will disappear like snow on a summer's day. Liddell, headlights ablaze, coming down to turn number 3. Now, Owen Trinkler is a very experienced driver. He'll see him first. The second place car of Jesse Lazare now just coming down to the bottom of the hill, and he's got the 28 car of Dylan, no, excuse me, that's Matt Plum and Dylan Matchevin together.
Which is that fabulous battle. That is for third place for the final step on the podium.
Robin Liddell in between first and second in ST. Now, is this going to be an advantage for Eric Voss? Did he get any kind of draft from behind Robin Liddell's Camaro? I think not. And once again, Owen Trinkler tries round the left-hand side. Puts him on the wrong side of the road, of course, for turning into the right-hander. He just needs to get a little bit more of an overlap. He's got it there, and here comes the second place. McLaren, that might get in the mix as well here.
Yeah, Voss tucks in behind and tries to get a draft, doesn't he? Heading up the hill.
Also makes himself just a little bit, makes it a little bit more difficult for the Nissan to go around 2 cars. Dylan Matchevin has gone through on Matt Plum, has he? Yes, he has. That's a great drive from Dylan Matchevin in the 28 Porsche. Chevy, McLaren, Porsche, top 3 different manufacturers in the overall lead. In ST, Mini, Porsche, Nissan, then the 2 BMWs, then 2 Mazdas, then 2 more Porsches. 11.5 minutes to go. Nobody is taking their eyes off this one. Jesse Lazare has cleared that battle as well now, so Vance, Voss and Trinkler can get back to their own scrap, not have to worry about the leader. It was half a second between those 3 before the lead cars in GS came through. It's opened out to a whole 9/10 of a second. Stephen Simpson has got to the head of the leading queue, of the chasing queue, excuse me, as we saw with that move from 6th to 4th, and he's pulled out 2.3 seconds on James Clay in the 84 black and white BMW. Subchak in the 34 orange Mazda, another 2 seconds back. So those three have split up just a wee bit, but no respite at all for James Vance. What a drive by James Vance, by the way, Jeremy, because he's had no time to himself at all. He's been watching his mirrors as well as trying to focus forward. Eric Voss and Owen Trinkler there.
Now there's no traffic at all between the two race leaders, and as a gap as they come across the line to complete lap 71 is 2 seconds only. So on that last lap, the gap has been whittled down by 3/4 of a second by Jesse Lazare. 28.30, a good lap by Robin Liddell.
Great lap. 28.3.
At this stage in the race with that big heavy Camaro, the relative weight of those two cars, the Camaro weighs in at 1495 kilograms, the McLaren at 1525. So unusually, the McLaren's actually a little bit heavier than the Chevy Camaro. Haven't said that for a while, have we?
Under 10 minutes to go. Robin Liddell can see now the second place Jesse Lazare in his rear view mirrors. Before anything else kicks off, I think it's worthwhile having a word with Michael Johnson. His teammate Stephen Simpson has pulled off one of the overtakes of the race to get that car into 4th, but it was a great first stint from Michael. That car and that driver pairing very competitive this weekend, Shea.
Michael Johnson, when you got out of the 54, it was already in a good place. Stephen Simpson made one of the passes the race for sure. How nervous are you sitting on the pit box watching potentially your best finish of the series?
Yeah, it's pretty nervous, and we deserve this. We've been working so hard the last year and a half to get this far, so hopefully we can pull it off and keep this momentum going on to Lime Rock. What's
Stephen been saying on the radio? Much of anything?
He hasn't been saying much. He's just been super quiet.
That's a good sign. Good luck.
Thank you.
This from Right Turn Lover to at IMSA Radio. Can we make this the impromptu 24 hours of motorsport and just keep it going? It's not the worst thought, is it? All these cars have got headlights. We'll be fine. Robin Liddell by 4.4 seconds from Jesse Lazare and the McLaren. This would be a maiden victory, would it not, Jeremy, for the new version of the Camaro?
What a lap that was last time around by Robin Liddell, a 26. No, beg your pardon.
27.8. Yeah, his best laps are 26. Yeah, I don't think we've seen the Stevenson car. It's won in World Challenge, hasn't it? Or it's certainly been on the podium in World Challenge.
Anyhow, 27.8 is a great lap by Robin at this stage of the game. I mean, that car is capable. The best lap it's turned, I think, was a 20. I don't know, where is it? Can't find it, but yeah, 27s, low to mid 27s is a good lap by him, and he's maintaining that gap now, and we're inside 7.5 minutes to go.
May I just bring up the spectre of fuel consumption?
Yes.
I'm not taking anything for granted at the moment. Kind of putting a sensible head on here with 7.5 minutes to go.
There's a first time for everything.
Oh, well, yes, there is. 4 seconds between first and second, 10 seconds between first and third, 11 seconds between first and fourth, 30 seconds between first and fifth. Those are the cars on the lead lap. Now, a drive down pit lane is about 30 seconds, just for a drive-through. Any time to add fuel on top of that. So, anybody coughs, splutters, or otherwise goes foot, they are in big trouble. No one is safe at the front of the field at the moment, and Robin Liddell pushing on. Another low 28 there. Matt Plum in the McLaren, 27.9, fastest man at the top of the field. And this battling ST just will not be put out. We may have to throw a bucket of water over those three to split them apart at the end. If they were any closer. need to introduce them slightly more. Vance, Foss and Trinkler. Mark Miller about to come through and lap those guys. And again, Trinkler goes to the left-hand side of the track nice and early, but he's not close enough this time. Is he trying to throw a bit of a dummy to Eric Foss? Foss has to take a defensive line into it, but he can defend from the middle of the road there and then just hug the right-hand red and white curb. The Chris Hall-driven Ford, the number 7 Volt car, coming up to come through this battle as well. They are down in 23rd position, but still 9th in class.
Yeah, it's been a really good run by that number 17, the Volt Racing entry. This battle is what, maybe 3 mini lengths between itself and the Porsche Cayman, and less than that much less than that between the 2nd and 3rd place cars, the Porsche Cayman, and that pursuing Nissan Altima. Who's doing a nice job, I mentioned a little while ago, is Britt Casey Jr. in 6th place. 3, 4, 6, 7th place, EST.
Yeah, confirmed by Musing a moment ago. There has not been a win for that new GT4 Camaro in any of the series, including World Challenge yet.
Correct.
2nd, I think, the best for Lawson Aschenbach.
Yeah, he's been on the podium.
He's down the inside for the lead in ST, Jeremy. And it's a slide. There's a contact at 5. Here's Trinkler. He's going to get 2nd just for a moment. Owen Trinkler was in 2nd, but the 56 Porsche has gone in the lead. But there was contact. There was heavy contact with the curb from the 56 Porsche of Eric Foss. And then there was contact into the side of the Mini. And Trinkler is right in the slipstream with a pair of them now. They're going to go side by side. Trinkler's going behind the Mini. I think that's a smart move. Tries to get down the inside, makes it 3 wide, 2.5 wide, let's say, over the top of the brow, and tries to sneak down the inside of the Mini. Oh, this could all end in tears yet.
Yeah, there was definite contact, wasn't there, from the Porsche Cayman. Was that a bit
Mini's
naughty?
gone wide, and here comes Trinkler. Trinkler up to 2nd and drifts through on the Mini, tight on the inside of the last right-hander. Owen Trinkler's up to 2nd. Eric Foss then down the hill from 4, swung out. That's okay. He clips the curb. As soon as he clips the curb, the car's launched and he's out of control.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to give up that position to the Mini, which means he's going to have to give it up to the Nissan as well. I'd be surprised. I mean, that was a dive bomb move there by Eric Foss. And he's going for a championship here. Does he really need to do that?
No, well, that's a great point, Jeremy. That is a great point. Everyone likes to win. Foss has cleared off for a moment. Trinkler in 2nd place. He's not going to give back that position now, is he? So this could yet play into the hands of the Nissan Altima. The race director will be looking at that very closely. The first move I thought was inspired, coming out down the hill, got alongside, but he slightly misjudged his entry into 5A and clipped the end of that red and white curb. And when he did that, he launched the front of the Porsche into the air, and at that point, he's out of control.
Yeah, a bit naughty. Look, 3 minutes to go only, and Robin Liddell, he's got a 5.7 second lead. He's stretched the lead, and
He's
just
pulled
a
the pin.
magnificent drive. Super consistent by Robin Liddell.
Last pit stop for Robin Liddell on lap number 38, and we're on 76 now. Last pit stop for the 69 of Jesse Lazare on lap 44. So he's in much better shape than those around him, because everyone else was pitted on lap number 38. Damien Faulkner, the only one else who pitted in the 40s. That was lap 40, but he's a lap down. Is there a last roll of the dice? Shit, Adam, at Stevenson, are we smiling at Stevenson yet, or are we getting out the pencil and doing lots of calculations?
Game faces, John. They're not giving anything away. These guys are really good at poker.
Contact between two Mazdas at turn 10. 27 and 34 battling over 6th position. I think one of them might have spun. I don't know if he didn't. He did everything, but maybe he didn't, because there's no yellow flag.
No yellow flags.
That was a heck of a save.
Great save. Oh, Trinkler's off. Trinkler's won very, very wide at turn 3. We've seen that accident many, many times. He's going to lose 2nd position. The Mini's up the inside to the left-hander at 4, but no, Trinkler takes a deep breath, gets himself. He was getting a really good run on the leader there for a moment, and now he's going to have to defend on the exit of the Moss complex and onto the back straight. 4 seconds the lead as Jesse Lazare puts in a 28.8 against the 29.9 for Robin Liddell. But the battle in ST is spellbinding. It is I am transfixed with this. It is, you cannot take your eyes off it. Eric Voss leads on the road.
Did they get the white flag this time?
Didn't see it. Not out, no. Trinkler, completely broadside, has more than a dab of Oppo. He had the merest hint of the right-hand side Continentals on the curb and somehow managed to hold on to it and hold on to the position. I think he may be running out of grip, says Hindhoff from a long way back. Eric Voss leads on the road in ST. And again, Trinkler's gone wide. I think he's dirtied his tyres up. Thanks to Ryan Smith, by the way, for confirming that the Camaro hasn't yet had a GT4 victory in this, guys. White flag this time by for Robin Liddell. Where's the ST battle? Please tell me that the ST battle are a bit further back so we get a bit more. Robin held up a little bit, held up a lot, actually, coming into the final corner. And that will be a little bit of an advantage. Liddell pulls out, and the white flag is in the air. Liddell then will complete 79 laps.
Yeah, and by about 2 seconds, and that's why I asked whether they got the white flag last time around, because he could probably lift it off there and got the win. Because I think it was only a couple of seconds. He's 4.5 seconds ahead of 69. I know he's got to do a whole extra lap.
2.5 miles. Has he got 2.5 miles in the tank?
He
Adam
must have.
is watching the guys at Stevenson. Are they looking happy yet?
I just heard a little gleeful laugh, but remember the last part of the 2.5 miles is pretty much all uphill.
Yeah.
So if it's going to cough and splutter on the straight, it's not going to make it back.
ST coming to the line to see their white flag, and the 56 car has got a car between himself and Robin Liddell, and Owen Trinkler. They get the white flag, 2.5 miles to go there, and it is one of the other Mosing cars that's between them. So Owen Trinkler will want to get by this Porsche if he's going to put any pressure at all on the leader. Very much a provisional result for Eric Voss. The Chevy Camaro has got towards the end of the lap. I'm listening to the engine.
2 corners to go.
2 corners to go. 6 seconds on Jesse Lazare. Is it Lazare that's in problems? Lazare's got traffic. Robin Liddell comes through, and he will anchor home the first GT4 Camaro victory.
28 car is going to get second place.
The 28 cars come through. It was a stunner from Lazare at the last, and at the line, it's Dylan Matchevin who's come through. It's Dylan Matchevin, and the 28 Porsches come through. Lazare down into 3rd place. Matt Plum was right there as well, Jeremy, the 76 car. So it was fuel issues, I'm fairly certain, at the end there. A little bit of traffic as well for Lazare, but he, remember, had pitted 6 laps later than everybody else, but he had been charging. Now in ST.
Meanwhile,
earlier in ST, you might remember.
Eric Voss is out front, having made the bump and run to take lead. He's going to quit in category. The battle going on though for 4th or 5th place.
Voss comes across and takes on the road the checkered flag. Second, Owen Trinkler confirmed in 2nd as it stands. James Vance, the long-time leader, comes home on the podium in 3rd. And we'll just wait a moment before we go down to the winners of the race, because Stephen Simpson will come through in 4th position. Yes, he will. Then there's a cracking battle behind them. Let's hear from Matt Bell with his Continental Tire Pit Lane report.
Matt Bell winning in the Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge at GS in a Camaro. We've seen this before, but how good does this one feel?
It feels amazing. I mean, we've been off all weekend. I mean, we lost in qualifying by over a second, and all the practices. I mean, as soon as the McLaren seemed to really, push hard, they just killed us. So for us to engineer this car to be this consistent, to be as kind to the Continental tires, which stayed under us much better than we were expecting, and I think that was the key, right? We were just consistent. We were not fast at all. That McLaren kind of, whenever he wanted, seemed to take like a 1.5 seconds out of our time. But Robin kept it up front. He did such an awesome job. These guys are amazing. I mean, these are the brightest minds in the Continental paddock, in my opinion. And I think they show it with results like this. So I'm pretty happy about it. You know, Johnny and Susan Stevenson putting this group together and keeping this group together for this long is amazing. It's an honor to drive with them.
Awesome job today, Matt.
Thank you.
And hello to Johnny Stevenson, who isn't here this weekend, but I'm sure will be tuned in. Your guys did a great job. Absolute great job. And by the way, everything that Matt says there, but can I just credit as well, Robin Liddell took his chance to pounce early and take that lead.
Brilliant.
And I'm not sure that if he trailed them round lap after lap, he could have done that, Jeremy. And that is the mark of a driver who knows where his advantage lies. And that, for the championship, has implications.
Well, his win doesn't, because the Chevy wasn't at the first two races of the season. But for that team, for Chevrolet, for the series, fantastic. Look, we've had 5 races, we've had 5 different winners, we've had 4 different manufacturers in victory lane in GS. Can't ask much for much more than that.
And the checkered flag in hand from the Scotsman as he comes down into the pit lane. Let's confirm the result then in GS. 6.4 seconds the margin of victory for Matt Bell and Robin Liddell in the Stevenson Camaro. That has a familiar ring to anyone who knows the history of the Continental Tire SportsCar Challenge. Dylan Matchevin right at the very death, nicking second place away from Jesse Lazare, putting Porsche into second for the 28 team, and the 69 McLaren dropping to third. Just holding on in a sprint to the line with Matt Plum just a 10th away in 4th position. The unlucky man off the podium. Mark Miller a further 27 seconds back, the fuel-saving ploy. Well, do you know what? One more lap, it might have been a different story. In ST, the bright orange and black number 56 Porsche has crossed the line ahead. Last 5-minute pass was a bit robust. Owen Trinkler in second by a second and a half, and another second and a half back. James Vance in the 37 Mini. Championship, Jeremy Shaw.
Yeah, in ST now, of course, that win extends the championship lead for Jeff Mosing and Eric Foss. In GS, it is tightening up. Cameron Castles and Trent Hinman will still lead the championship, by my reckoning.
6th for those guys, 1 lap off the pace.
Yes, by 5 points now over Matt Plum and Paul Holton. 1 point, they are ahead of Matt Keegan and Nicholas Ronday, and the Dillons, Murcott and McCavan, are now just 2 points behind Keegan and Ronday, and then just 2 points behind them are Till Bettelsheimer and Mark Miller. So the top 5 in the championship separated by just 10 points.
And very tight in ST as well. We'll give you those in a moment.
Well, they're edging away with that win.
We'll give you the points on that after we've spoken to the man who's just won that race, yeah?
Jeff Mosing, you must have been feeling some big pain during the first stint that you were out there, but man, when you get to go home with the top step of the podium trophy, it's all worth it, isn't it?
That's definitely the medicine that can make my back feel better. You know, Foss got out there and did what we needed to do. We had a long green session. We were really lucky that the McLaren was able to get behind the wall, and we stayed green. I think the long stints like that, Eric's really good at conserving the Continental tires for us, and we had something for him at the end.
Big celebration tonight for Jeff and Eric.
Thanks so much, Shay. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's a good result there. Haven't heard anything from race control about that bump and run, so at the moment we'll say that that is provisional with no decision having been made. So ST then, Eric Foss winning by a second and a half, the 56 car here, Mosing, Owen Trinkler and Sarah Catania. Great pit stop and a fabulous drive back from Owen Trinkler to get second. So nearly took the lead as well. James Vance and the 37 Mini team, well, they led for such a long time, ended up in 3rd position. And then behind them, the 54 BMW, the 84 BMW, and then the Mazdas 27 and 34. Top 10 made up by the 18 and 31 Porsches. So
I think Britt Casey got fastest lap in there. Yeah, so in ST then, it'll be 162 points for Mosing and Foss against 140 now of Derek Jones and Matt Pombo. All the other top contenders lost a bit of ground there, so now a pretty handy lead for the number 56 team.
Well, Jeremy, once again, the Continental Tire SportsCar Challenge delivering just the one full course caution. I did say I like long green flag runs. You get long green flag runs, you just get long green flag runs of racing, and that's exactly what we had. Just green flag. Brilliant. Racing.
Brilliant, great race. Yeah, there was a one yellow at exactly the half distance, wasn't there? But
pretty much.
It was a tremendous race, and you know, that was well earned by Stevenson Motorsports. Great to see. You know, there's good parity here amongst the teams. Definitely, the McLarens have a pace advantage here, but they have other handicaps. They have the pit stop handicaps, and clearly their fuel consumption wasn't particularly good in the latter stages of the race. That's why that Jesse Rinzar, having moved himself back up into second place, wasn't able to put any pressure on the race leader.
So congratulations, a first victory for the Stevenson Camaro in this form in the Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge, and Eric Voss has taken the victory for the 56 car that he shares with Jeff Mosing. Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge living up to its reputation for fabulous racing. Thanks to Shea Adam and to Jeremy Shaw and John Hindorf. There will be more Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge racing in sound and vision from IMSA Radio and TV together throughout the rest of the season. Bye-bye.